timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl! Brady has his fifth! 13! 13! Can you believe it?
Hey guys, welcome back to the Locker Room Podcast. I'm your host, Oliver. As always, joined by our mystery man, Sharpy.
Hello.
It's just back to us two again. Probably
Yeah.
the best way.
Thank God. Yeah.
One ginger's enough, and we don't need the height. I'm just gonna move my body here. We're gonna do the playoff bracket. God, that took me a while to think of that. We'll dive straight into it. How do you pick these? Oh God, no, that's not how it works. Okay, so Phoenix are going to verse, after the Timberwolves beat the Clippers, Phoenix are either going to verse Clippers, Pelicans, or Spurs. First, who do you see winning the next tomorrow's playing game out of the Spurs and Pelicans?
I could probably see the Pelicans winning.
Yeah, I agree. And then it comes down to Clippers, Pals. Who you got?
Clippers.
I've got the Clippers just only because of Paul George. Oh, wait, shit, no. But, okay, so who you got out of Clippers and Suns is the bigger question.
Phoenix, easy.
I reckon it's Phoenix in 5. I feel like the Clippers will steal a game. Utah, Dallas. Now, Doncic does not look like he's going to be back, which is concerning. And he did it in the last game of the season. It's just so stupid. Who you got there with that whole catastrophe?
Utah.
Yeah, I sadly agree. And all the memes are going to come out about Doncic going out in the first round again. But how many games do you reckon?
Probably 5 as well.
Yeah. And that could completely change if Doncic comes back. If Doncic is playing, I've got Dallas winning that. Now, this is one I reckon we might disagree on. Golden State Warriors versus Nuggets. Who you got?
I've
gone with Denver.
I think Golden State in 7.
In 7, geez. I've gone with Denver just because I don't see anyone guarding Jokic, and is Murray meant to be coming back? I don't know if anyone, and I haven't heard any of them coming back, but it is going to be a hell of a series. That's my favorite series so far. We'll go with Warriors though, but I really hope the Nuggets win. Memphis versus Minnesota. Big Pat Bev versus Ja Morant.
It'd be a funny series.
It's Memphis, isn't it?
Yeah, Memphis. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Memphis in 6. I reckon. I'm gonna give the Timberwolves a couple games. We'll go over to the East now, which you can't really. Oh, you can see there.
Yeah.
Now it's Cavs versus the winner of the Hawks and Charlotte. Who you got out of Hawks and Charlotte?
Charlotte.
Really? I like that.
Fuck Atlanta.
And who you got out of Cavs and Charlotte?
Well, you got Cavs to beat Brooklyn, do you?
Oh, Cavs lost to Brooklyn too.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. I was just looking at the thing then. Yeah. Probably Cavs.
I hope the Cavs win because they deserve to be in the playoffs, and if they miss out because Jared Allen's been injured, it's just shit.
I mean, they're gonna have to have players like Okoro and Markkanen to play well because they were a bit bad today.
We're taking Miami though, aren't we? Surely. To beat whoever, Cavs or Hornets or whoever comes out.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be. I don't reckon there's going to be too many issues for them. I'm going to give them 2 games actually. Miami in 6. Raptors Philly. This is an interesting series because Raptors just beat Philly the other day and bloody Harden got clamped and shot poorly. Do you still trust Philly Matisse Thybulle can't play in Toronto, so
Yeah. I mean, Philly desperately need to win this one.
They have to. It would be funny if they didn't, though.
It'd be hilarious if they don't, and I hope they don't. But I do see them winning in 7.
Who's going to guard Embiid for 7 games? Like
Exactly.
Boucher. They've got rid of Aaron Baines, so I agree. I got Philly. I wouldn't say. I'd maybe say 6, but we'll go with 7. Now, the Bulls have been depressing of late, but they could always turn it around. But are we going with the Bucks here? I know that you're a big Bucks person.
Yeah, Bucks. Yeah.
Drew Holidays and Lonzo Ball being out for the rest of the season is just a huge loss. Bucks in 6.
Yeah, Bucks in 5 actually.
Oh, come on now. I've got to give Billy Donovan a bit more respect than that. Now, this is the series I did not want to happen because I wanted to see both teams go further than the first round, and that's the Celtics and the Nets. There's optimism that he's going to return for this series. In saying that, without him, who do you see winning?
I can see Boston winning this, but I prefer Brooklyn. I'd say Brooklyn.
I really want this. That's the thing. I wanted both teams to pass, but only because I really like the Celtics and they've just been so good of late that they deserve to go past the first round. But I agree, the Nets are probably going to win. Nets in 6, you reckon? Nets in 7?
Yeah.
6, we'll go 6. All right, we'll go back to the West. Suns are beating the Jazz. I don't think we need to discuss that. It's just how many games. And I think, 5? Give the Jazz 1, maybe at home.
Yeah, might as well give them 1.
Grizzlies versus the Warriors. I've got the Grizzlies, but it depends how the Warriors are playing with how many minutes Draymond Green's getting again.
Yeah.
I just like how the team's built around Memphis, and they haven't really got many injuries or people returning from injury other than Jar, obviously. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd probably say Memphis as well. So makes sense.
Sorry, Warrior fans.
I mean, if Curry's back, I can see the Warriors winning. But...
Yeah. Oh yeah, Curry's out. How have I've completely forgotten about that. God, that just makes me think Denver are going to win even more now. Philly versus Miami. This will be very Bam versus Embiid. Butler versus Harden. Butler versus Philly. Who you got?
Miami. Hopefully Miami, because I reckon it'll be funny to see.
That'd be hilarious.
To see Philly get knocked out. And as much as I hate Miami and Jimmy, it's just I would love to see Embiid and Harden and just Philly fans in general have to go through all that crap again.
Yeah. And I think it will happen in 7 games. And I hope it happens in 7 games. So we'll go with that. Bucks Nets, the semi-final of last year. Obviously, KD's toes are too big. Do you reckon the Nets get their revenge, or do you think Bucks?
Who's stopping Giannis?
Yeah, true.
If Simmons is back, you could say he could.
If Simmons is back, he will stop. He won't stop Giannis. He'll contain him a little bit more.
Yeah, but how? Like, who's stopping him? Like, and I think Drew Holiday, especially on Kyrie, that could also be that'd be a nice matchup. So,
it's a battle of the role players, and you look at Nets role players; they're just so inconsistent. Although they've
look at Bruce Brown today; he nearly had triple double.
He's always like a 5x5 threat. I honestly think he's the biggest 5x5 threat in the league. I can't really
6'4", and he can match up against heaps of people. Like
he's unreal. But I think like him, Dragic, Mills, Curry, Drummond, they're your role players. They're always a bit inconsistent. Whereas the Bucks, you got Bobby Portis, Grayson Allen. They usually play well, and if they play bad, they're doing other things. Whereas the Nets players, if they're not hitting their shots, they're kind of in Drummond's case, he can get rebounds, but the others need to hit shots to be useful.
Can't forget about Pat Con either.
Pat Conning,
especially him last year in the playoffs, he was good to watch as well.
So we going with the Bucks, are we?
Yeah, go with the Bucks.
I reckon it's going to be another 7-game series.
Yeah,
to be
same.
honest. All right.
It'll also be funny if they get knocked out as well.
Yeah. All right. So we've got 1 versus 2 here. Suns versus Grizzlies.
That's another good series.
Yeah.
Well, if Memphis don't play Jar the whole series, they could win it. So,
it's an interesting one because you look at the center matchup. Adams can match up with Ayton. That's it. I think that cancels each other out nearly.
Yeah, and you've also got Jaren Jackson
Jr. Yeah,
to
match
up.
Then Jar probably is going to have to take. He would have to take. Obviously one of the two, Chris Paul or Devin Booker. It's just Chris Paul's not guarding Jar. It's going to be Mikal Bridges.
They're going to have they're going to throw Mikal Bridges onto everyone who's got the ball.
And he's going to absolutely. I don't want to say he's going to clamp Jar, but I don't know how Jar's. I haven't seen them verse the Suns this year, but I don't know how well Jar will be able to get into the paint against the Suns. But I could be completely wrong because he always finds a way.
He's that creative to get inside. So yeah,
and especially with Steven Adams doing his little shield screens.
Yeah, and Phoenix always do their homework on teams and that, so it could easily be like a 4-game series. But who knows?
I think I'm jealous of the Grizzlies, and I hope they make it this far, but I don't think they get into the finals. I think the Suns are just too good at the moment. What do you think?
Yeah, Suns are just they were just played so good during
I
the regular
reckon
season.
the Grizzlies will steal 2 games somewhere. So I'm going to go Suns in 6. Miami Bucks. The Bucks swept Miami last year in the first round, I'm pretty sure. Who do you see? I feel like the Bucks would win this one with ease, to be honest. But do you agree?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go Bucks in 5, and that gives us a rematch of last year's finals that people were complaining about. Yet they also complain when they see Cavs versus Warriors 3 years in a row. So you can't really win with casuals, I'd say. I don't want to. Would you agree that they're casuals if they're complaining about it? Because I feel like last year's series was one of the best in the recent times.
How is it anyone's fault that the 2 best teams in the league go up against each other at the end of the year?
Oh, but it's Suns didn't verse the Lakers with a fully healthy squad. Well, bloody Chris Paul couldn't shoot that whole series. And who would actually have preferred to see the Clippers versus the Bucks in the finals? I don't know anyone that would have wanted to see that, especially with Paul George out as well.
Yeah.
So Bucks versus Phoenix. Obviously, Giannis was the huge problem last year. I think the biggest difference is probably Monty Williams, because I still remember I did put a fair bit of blame on him. The way they defended Giannis was just terrible. They kept giving, whether it was Monty or I feel like it was more Monty than just DeAndre Ayton being poor. They just kept giving Giannis the baseline, and he could just go baseline and then finish around the rim or draw a foul.
I mean, he does that against every team, though.
Yeah, but like if you got a 7-game series, you see like who was it? Nick Nurse, when they versed him a couple of years ago, he built the wall. I think he was the initial team to build the wall, I think, against Giannis. Obviously, he can't do that as much now because he can actually shoot, which is scary. And he's not going to have that whole counting down from the free throw line thing this year. I think it's
that was annoying.
I genuinely think it's down to the coaching battle. And I hope that Monty Williams is improved. But what do you think?
I just want to know, like, who you're going to have on Giannis. Like, because they're going to be out. Suns are going to be able to throw Ayton, JaVale McGee, Cam Johnson,
Bridges.
maybe not Bridges. He won't be able to match up.
Yeah.
I mean, no one really
If
can
you
anyway.
I guess if you stick him to Chris Middleton and just take him out for the whole series, that's
I
one.
think
And Chris Paul can stick with Drew Holiday.
I think if you also eliminate just everyone else, like if you eliminate, you let Drew Holiday shoot it. He's not that big of a shooter, but even though he can shoot it, but I think just eliminate the ball from Middleton's hands.
Yeah.
And try and stop Giannis at least try to stop him, and then you should be fine.
Well, that's another thing. You used to bring this up with a lot of other players that were unreal at passing and stuff, but do you nearly, because you got defenders like Mikal Bridges and stuff to guard Middleton and Paul on Drew, do you nearly say Giannis has to beat him all by himself? So you just not let him obviously get to the rim and stuff, but more he has to take nearly all the shots rather than him, say, getting 40 points and 12 assists or 10 assists because he's just dumping off. Do you feel like they should just risk Giannis doing everything rather than getting Chris Middleton his 20 shots, getting him involved?
I think I forgot about Bobby Portis as well and how well he played last year.
Yeah, I don't know if that will happen again, but
who knows?
Could. He very much could, but
silent hero. Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup for Giannis, but I think Phoenix have the firepower to do it.
Who do you want to win? Because if the Suns win, you've got another Knicks player a former Knicks player winning it in Alfred Payton. So
fucking hell. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, well,
might entice Julius Randle to leave, go to China and win the Chinese League title.
Just get him out in general. I want Phoenix to win because of CP.
Yeah.
Because I want him to get his ring. And
well, he's got one less than Candace Parker, who's the real CP. But go on.
But to see Giannis win again would be nice.
So who do you want to win? Oh, sorry, who have you got to win?
I don't know.
I am going to change it up. I'm going to say the Suns will win it, just because I trust Monty Williams a bit more this year. I'm going to say we'll go Sun. I don't reckon there's going to be a Game 7 in the finals this year.
There wasn't one last year.
Yeah, wasn't it?
No, it was Bucks in 6.
Oh, it was Bucks in 6 too. God damn. Geez, my memory's shot. Okay. I'm going to say, what do you think? Suns in 6 or 7? Go 7?
7, yeah.
Let's just go 7 because we hope that there's a 7. Yeah, we'll deal with that crap later. All right, so the Suns are winning it for us. We'll go on to our Poeltl for today. Neither of us have done it, so let's get straight into who that nearly looks like a Tyson Chandler type. It's bald and a beard.
Oh, that does not narrow anything down.
Fred VanVleet?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, go.
We'll give Fred VanVleet a go. Oh my God. I genuinely didn't do it today. 100% have not done it today.
He looks like, yeah, that's fair. Drake looking ass.
I just saw like the side bits of his beard and I'm like,
he's literally, it's the only one I could even think of as well. So
yeah, so look at us. That's what we've done it 3 weeks now. You didn't technically do it last week because you did it before the podcast.
Yes, my bad.
So 2 out of the 3 weeks we've got it. Well, we didn't get it first try actually the first week, but I knew who it was the first try.
You
technically. We're just built different. We're goated.
Yeah.
All right.
Goaty McGoat.
Yeah.
I am the goat.
All right. So we've got a few things to touch on in the NBA. Lakers. Swear to God, hopefully this is the last time we'll talk about the Lakers this season. Before we get to the whole dilemma about the coaching situation, Russell Westbrook basically just throwing shit at LeBron and AD, saying that they never really let him be Russ. which again I call bullshit on. There's been rumors about him getting interest from Charlotte and Pacers. Now, to add on to that, apparently he doesn't want a buyout. He's going to pick up his 47 mil option or whatever it is. So, what do you think? Do you think he will start at the Lakers next year? Do you reckon he goes to one of those teams? And if so, what team would he suit best out of those two?
Well, if you're Indiana, you'd be stupid to.
I
Charlotte
agree.
it makes sense. I could see that possibly happening, but
It
yeah,
just takes the ball out of LaMelo's hands a bit more.
yeah, that's another thing. I mean, but at paces, it just takes the ball out of Halliburton's hands and or Brogdon's hands. So,
and I saw trade rumors of what Pacers would offer, and it was Buddy Hield, and I can't remember who the other player was. But it's like, why offer if you can? They're not looking for a playoff spot right now. If they
Indiana,
if they pick up someone good in this draft, and they trade Buddy Hield for more picks, or
they could possibly get Cleveland's pick as well this year. So
they can accumulate picks or something and then trade for a good player, not Westbrook, because who wants to take on that contract? It's like, I don't see what the Pacers get out of it.
Maybe OKC could take on that contract.
No,
I mean, it's only for a year.
I've seen so much stuff about that as well, about taking on bringing him back to Thunder and everything, and I hope it doesn't happen. But as much as I love him, but what do you think he'll start the season as a Laker?
Yeah, but he won't finish it.
Yeah, I agree. I think
I reckon there's probably a big chance he might not even start it. So who knows?
Next coach of LA. Now, what do you think, first of all, of the whole coaching situation in LA?
It was a bit disrespectful on what they did. Mm-hmm. Not even telling Vogel, but telling the media.
Literally a minute after their game finished, Woj tweeted it.
Yeah, that's just fucked up. No wonder Quinn Snyder and who was the other one that got? Yeah, Doc Rivers didn't want the job there. That's just disrespectful. Also, it's going to go down to security as well, whether they're going to be allowed to stay on with the job. Because look at it, they've got many years left with LeBron. I heard there's a rumor going around that LeBron may pick up his player option for his last year.
Well, I read a rumor today that he was just going to let his contract run out, because next year's his last year on the contract, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because then it gives him more freedom in 2023 to wherever. Well, I think he's just going to play it out so he can go wherever he wants to go when Bronny's drafted. He's going to figure it out. But
what I think would be funny is if the Knicks drafted Bronny or something, and then the Knicks just gave one last fuck you to LeBron for not joining them ages ago.
I would love that.
And just not signing him at all. Even if you have to screw over Bronny in that.
I would love that. That would be so funny. But I feel like it's like that situation when Harrison Barnes got traded mid-game, basically. Just no respect. And the front office for the Lakers is just a shambles. And I saw a thing and it was like LeBron's made the Lakers worse since he joined.
Yeah, look at his first year compared to now. Look at all those plays. Look at the roster he had compared to what he has now, and the talent that he had there at the Lakers when he first started.
Who do you think they can actually get, though? Because they're linked with Quinn Snyder. They were. Doc Rivers they were linked with, which I can maybe see as a possibility if the Sixers disappoint in the playoffs. And there was another one. Nick Nurse. Apparently, Nick Nurse is the main one that's linked. And I'm like, why the hell would he want to go there?
Realistically, Nick Nurse would be the closest one to it. But...
Yeah, I guess because he hasn't got a good team. But then again, Quinn Snyder's probably going to lose Donovan Mitchell this year. Or this.
Yeah, well, they're going to either lose Donovan or Rudy, depending on which one they pull the trigger on. So,
who do you think the best chance to become the next Lakers coach is?
Probably Nick Nurse.
Out of those three names, I would agree.
I'd probably go like you could say Doc Rivers, but
yeah,
I feel like if you go Doc Rivers, it makes Stephen A. Smith happy because he's not white. So
well, apparently there was a report today that LeBron would be happy if Mark Jackson got.
Yeah, that's a good
shout. And like that Warriors team wasn't even that bad. He set him up for Steve Kerr, and then Steve Kerr's just reaped all the benefits.
I think before the Knicks got Tibbs, he was also one of the coaches that they interviewed, and everyone was getting excited, hoping he would become coach.
Bring back
obviously
Van Gundy.
Yeah, I was about to say obviously Van Gundy would be. He would not, even though he's
LeBron wouldn't do it. I don't reckon
yeah.
LeBron would do it.
Yeah.
Or would want it. But go on.
He would not even be able to get a word in Van Gundy if it's all there. You honestly just need a coach that is good with defensive rotations.
Yeah.
That's
the thing. Frank Vogel is such a good defensive coach. He just lost. He didn't have any players that wanted to play defense. Like, you look at the team, you got Westbrook, LeBron, AD was injured. Carmelo. I guess Malik Monk was one of their better defenders, and he's not that great of a defender.
Yeah.
And like you look at what he did with Caruso, and players like that. I just I feel bad for him.
Even look at like Austin Reeves and everything.
Yeah.
Like, what he did in his last game. I'm hoping that's not a one-time thing. As much as I hate Oklahoma, Boomer Sooners, not yours. Yeah. Well, you look at how well I know everyone played well for every team on the last day of the season.
Yeah.
But to see like all the like role players or bench players play the way they wanted to play the whole season because they're not having to rely on like LeBron having the ball or AD having the ball, Westbrook having the ball. So
yeah,
that was good to watch.
I think we'll leave it at that there for the NBA. I don't really think there's too much to touch on. Obviously, the playing games happened today, and did anything really surprise you? I kind of expected those two teams both. Nothing
really expected.
Yeah,
like nothing really surprised me.
All right. Well, it's that time of the week. Slug's horsey tips. So his first one, he's got Pakenham race 3, number 8, native girl. Randwick race 3, number 4, straight Aaron. And his each way of the day is Caulfield race 7, number 12, Grand Slam. Do you have your weekly multi, Sharpie?
Yes, I do, but I'll let you go first on yours.
Yep. So
I've been stupid.
No, that's all right. I've got Brisbane to beat Collingwood, Western Bulldogs to beat North, Sydney to beat West Coast, Richmond to beat Adelaide, which was surprisingly high, Geelong to beat Hawks, Pelicans to beat the Spurs, Tottenham to beat Brighton, and West Ham to beat Burnley. That's 8 legs for $17.34 per. You get that. What's yours, Sharpie?
So I've gone with just 6 AFL games. I've gone Brisbane to beat Collingwood, West Coast to beat Sydney, St Kilda to beat Gold Coast, Adelaide to beat Richmond, Melbourne to beat GWS, and a surprising one, and I can see this happening because Bulldogs have had a few injuries, North Melbourne to beat the Bulldogs.
Oh, you're going against your own team.
I know,
you're
but
backing Lockie's team.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I saw the injury list for Bulldogs, and then there was a few not big names, but there was a few names that were out. So I can still.
I haven't even seen the names that are out. You're making me question my bet.
Oh, it's not like Bont or anything. It's.
Oh well, he's not a big name anyway. He's
a real flag, unlike Richmond.
Oh, which one? Sorry.
All of them. All Mickey Mouse flags.
We're just too good. We've got too many of them. You have to head off, don't you?
Yeah, I have to make a premature exodus of this.
I guess I'll quickly cover the AFL by myself then.
Shout out to Will Brady with his 37 touches on the weekend. That was awesome.
Yes, the local. I forgot to touch on that, but
it's all good. Anyway, thank you everyone. Bye.
We'll see you next week, hopefully. Later. All right, now it's just me. I've been wished good luck by Lockie because he thinks it's just going to be weird, but I know my AFL stuff, so he stuck with me for not too long. Footy tipping wise, we have a league comp, obviously. Brad, who you wouldn't have seen on here before, but Brad McCullough is leading right now, and Lockie is coming last by, there's a difference between 7. I'm coming second. Next week I'll just show a screenshot of what's going on. Anyway, we'll get back to last week. What impressed me, obviously, have to go with Richmond beating the Bulldogs. I was with my mate who supported the Bulldogs. I won't say I didn't tip them. I won't say I expected it though. I won't say I expected it, but I wasn't surprised. God, I spat it out in the end. But Prestia, I think people underestimate how much of a big deal he is to our team. Obviously, Tom Lynch was on fire and that, but Prestia had like 30 and a goal or 31 and a goal. It was quite ridiculous. But I think in saying that, the Bulldogs kicking, that needs to be discussed. I think they kicked 7 goals, 18, 7 goals, 20 or something. They just were terrible. That's something they definitely need to improve on. In saying that, my loser of the weekend, I haven't actually got it up here, I was going to put Brisbane, but I feel like they were hard done by because what Tom Hawkins did, and that was that should have been a free kick every day of the week. But Port Adelaide, 0-4, which is a bit like me and Supercoach right now. Let's not get into that. 0-4, they got absolutely battered. They didn't kick a goal for the first half, which was just sad. And then they kicked a few in the end, but they just looked horrible. Another impressing point, North Melbourne playing against Swans. No one expected them to be close. Obviously, we laughed about it last week, but Zeeble kicking 5. I don't know anyone that would have predicted that. And obviously, Will Brodie and Carlton being brought down back to earth. I fucking loved that because Carlton supporters were getting so toxic, saying that a couple of my mates saying they had the best list in the league and they were going to go on and win the premiership, and they lose to Gold Coast, who aren't terrible, by the way. And yes, I know you've lost Cripps and you didn't have your main ruckman, blah, 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 but you should, if you're a good enough team, you should be able to beat the Suns if you're losing one of your best players. If Melbourne lost, say, Clayton or one of the two, out of him and Petrarca, they would still win. But that's it for that weekend. I'll do a quick preview of this weekend. What's the game of the weekend? I haven't even got it up here. God, there's not a great deal of good game. Geelong Hawthorn's probably the best game of the weekend, and that's obviously the Easter Monday clash. Geelong are going to win it. Hawthorn really disappointing last week. I think we'll leave it at that. Next week, I'll show you the tipping ladder and everything. Obviously, I'm probably going to have to cut out one of the names because, no, it's actually fine. It's not that bad. And I might come out. We might do a Champions League after the next legs of the Champions League are played tomorrow morning, which is, this podcast comes out tomorrow morning, but anyway, you get what I mean. Because I really want to talk about Chelsea and I really want to talk about Bayern. But thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.